Here we are approaching Manhattan Beach on an early summer day. It's late June, so summer just started. You can see they have a beautiful, they have a bike lane here, so there's some care put to cyclists' needs, but when you come to getting into the beach itself, see here's Manhattan Beach, make it very difficult as a cyclist to get to that beach. They want you to walk all the way deep in there. There's no bike sign there, but you'll see some coming up. There's, because you don't want to really bike there if there's no sign indicating that a bike can bike there, because you don't want to get in the way of the pedestrians. But there's another zone here. We're still in this bike lane. Maybe you could go there, I don't know. But right here there is a sign that indicates no bikes are allowed, but this would be an excellent access point here. You might not be able to see those signs, but there's one sign that says no bikes allowed. And then you come to this parking lot, which would be an excellent place to enter by bicycle, and they say no bicycles for some reason. I have no idea why can't bicycles go through that parking lot? It doesn't make sense. Sure. See, no bikes can just go through that parking lot, which is what I found is the best access point to the beach. I'm in the way of this car, I have no idea what's going on here. But while they're backing up, I'm going to cut through here. You'll see how good an access point this is for cyclists. They just repaved this parking lot, and so aside from any broken glass, that has nothing to do with the cyclists, because cyclists basically just want to pass through here and get to the bike racks that I'll show you eventually. But this seems like such a ideal place. There's an entry point here. They have a lot of small print maybe you could have seen on that side. I never read it. I don't know what the situation is with bikes here really. But here's another entry point. But my entry point is the closest one to the bike racks, which you can see are pretty far from where we started in that street. There's a handicap ramp here. And if you just go right up this handicap ramp, and look at the fence. I don't think a cyclist did that. But we're gonna just go here, respectfully with the pedestrians, because we don't want any problems with the pedestrians. And you can see here's where the bike racks are. And you can see they're not really being used that much because they're so far away. They're so far away from the water itself. Like here's the water. So I don't know if what I'm doing right now, biking here, is legal or not, but you can tell I'm not really going fast. I'm not trying to disrupt people. I just want to have an easy access point to ride to these bike racks instead of having to walk to them. And they're bike racks identical to these, maybe not the same number, but on the other end of the beach that are so far away from the roadway to bike all the way there. I mean, to walk all the way there would take you 15 minutes. Doesn't make any sense at all. So hopefully if they made a nice access point for the cyclists here where they could ride up like I just did, you'd see more people on using these bike racks. And better yet, it'd be nice if you could just bring your bikes right onto the beach. I got yelled at once for that. But the first thing to do is try to get a good, clear access point for the cyclists to get to these bike racks without having to walk a quarter of a mile or whatever it is to get here. Thank you. Hi, how you doing? We're doing a little experiment here. You can see there are no more bikes in the bike racks anymore, but there's someone doing charcoal right next to them, and there's very loud music. So the experiment we're going to do is to bike all the way to the other bike racks on the other side of this beach. You see there's 3 bikes here locked up. They're not even using the bike racks because they're probably not too well advertised. But here we're just going to bike respectfully with the pedestrians, not to cause any problems. But you can hear there's lots of noise here. So part of the experiment is to see if I just bike respectfully here, along this horseshoe, what I call the horseshoe at Manhattan Beach, if I'm going to get harassed by police security or the police. So you can see I'm not going very fast. It's a nice summer day. Why get all stressed out here? There's some kids here. Gonna let them through, let this lady through. Just bike really nice and slow and see what happens. But part of this experiment is also to show people, well, here's a set of bike racks. I never saw these before, but the access point is not so good. So we'll get some shots of these bike racks. No cyclists there either for some reason, but we're getting closer to a danger point, potential danger point with the police. So I don't know what I'm doing, if it's legal or not. We're just gonna find out as part of this experiment, but you can tell pretty much, or I'm stating that I'm biking respectfully. Oh, here's some more bike racks. Interesting. Never saw those before. So that's 3 sets of bike racks so far. We want to watch out. There's a stroller there with a baby. We don't want to get in trouble with them. We don't want to cause any harm to them. So we're continuing to bike respectfully on this Saturday afternoon or evening now. We want to watch out. We want to watch out for the kids. Everyone's having a great time on the beach. See, it's a little quieter here because people don't have their automobiles right up against where they're barbecuing, blasting their stereos. But let's see if we can find the other bike racks. Let's see if we can find them. But watch out for the kids. So here's a young kid. I think it's legal for kids under age 14 to bike on sidewalks. But so here's another bike rack, and here's another bike rack. But why we came over here to these bike racks is just to show you how far they are from an access point. So you'd have to be biking through the pedestrians, but it's not clear whether you can legally bike here. So why are the bike racks so far away? To have the cyclists have to walk their bikes so far is kind of crazy. So we're gonna back out of here again. There looks like there's another bike rack over here. Another bike rack here, but then we're just gonna exit the park just to get a sense of how far the bike racks are from the street, but there's no real clear definition about whether cyclists are allowed to ride here or not. That's the point of this video. And here off in the distance there are 3 other sets of bike racks and only 1 bike in them right now. But we're going to exit the park here. This is the entrance I used to use originally when I first started coming here regularly last summer. And it looks like there's a bike rack here. But you can see right now there's just a lot of people here. It's not the place I would want to enter because there's no cars. You can see there's lots of babies and and stuff like that, but yet there's no clear sign saying you can't bike here, but it's like the main point where cyclists would come through. And there's no real signs here saying bikes aren't allowed. Rules prohibit jet skiing, fishing, bicycle riding or skating on beach or promenade after 10 a.m. from Memorial Day weekend to October 1st. So that's the rule. I'm not sure if this is coming out, but I'll say it again. Bicycle riding or skating on beach or promenade after 10 a.m. from Memorial Day weekend to October 1st. So it doesn't say in the evening when you could start biking, but that's the rule that we have. So the question is then why are the bike racks so far away from the entrance? Or why isn't there an access point for the cyclists? That's the real question. We need an access point for cyclists to bike respectfully, to be able to lock their bikes up as close to the beach as they can. That seems reasonable. Thank you for watching the video.